This episode has been brought to you by Subject to Change Customs. Choose Subject to Change for all your custom apparel and promotional product needs. Follow them on all social media at S2C LLC and get your 4 times dope merch on their website. That's www.shops2c.com.
Yeah, we in the building. 4 times dope. Yeah, we known to get it live, man. 4 times dope. New level, keep it high, yeah. 4 times dope. Mic check, now we on it, we live.
All right, y'all. So we are back for another episode. But before we get started, I wanted to, just check in on everybody's here. Everybody's doing how your week been going, especially after the busy week we had last week. Jermaine, what's been going on with you, brother?
First of all, happy Wednesday to everybody first, before I forget to say that. I'm still recovering in terms of sleep. Um, yeah, man, it's been tough. The whole week has been tough in terms of getting quality sleep. It's like I just left Earth or something. Now I'm back and I can't
Not
sleep.
Earth.
I'm tossing and turning.
You said Earth.
I think because homecoming was so lit, it was a different aura. So I'm still processing it. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that,
Yeah,
real life, having a lecture, having to do all this other stuff. But I mean, other than that, man, it is what it is. It's all is well, you know.
bet. Quan, what
So
about you? How's
For
it
me,
been going?
yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't make homecoming. I'm like out of the four, I'm the only one who didn't make it. Happened to go up to Chicago with my wife. She had like a conference up there, so I went up tagged along with her. It was, it was low key, but I feel like I got a lot of rest actually. Like I didn't do a whole bunch of tourist stuff. I've been to Chicago, several times, so I didn't have that pressure to feel like let me go see, the Willis Tower, let me go to Grant Park or the Navy Pier and stuff like that. So I did all that before in the past. So it was more just kind of just chilling, eating, drinking, and resting really. So and not having a kid for that weekend. So I didn't have to get up the first thing in the morning and feed a 3-year-old who wants to eat and wants this. So just more on my own time. So that was refreshing. But I did enjoy watching all the pictures and photos everyone posting the homecoming. It looked crazy, man. Like it looked more crazy than the last time I've been, which I think it was like 2018 or so.
19.
19? Yeah, 2019.
it
Yeah,
was 18 because we all went together. That's the last time I went to. Was it
I,
18?
I did go
Who's
down.
at
No, 19. It
19?
was 19. It was
It's my
19.
20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
did come. That's the last time I went, and then I look in the pictures of the bowl, man. Like it like with no space in the grass or anything based on the pictures I'm looking, but look lit, man. So look, all y'all had a good time. So I was in there in spirit, though. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you were. So you definitely got to be back there next year.
Yeah, I gotta make up for it.
Yeah, you
Right.
don't have a choice. So, and we have a special guest in the house tonight. Before I introduce her, I just want to ask her, Miss Pollard, Miss Geomyra Pollard, how has your week been going?
My week has been going pretty good. We hosted Friendsgiving, so I feel like I'm recovering as well as my voice. So that's our little homecoming for my friend group. is Friendsgiving.
Sounds
When
nice.
we all get together. It was amazing, and so like Jermaine, I feel like I'm coming back to earth. Like things have settled. So
Right.
Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you just heard her voice. She is our special guest for the evening, Miss Geomyra Pollard. She is also a good family friend of ours. Well, let me take it out. She's like family now. They got those friends who become like family. She's definitely family. She's not just a friend, she's family. And she's also a mom, she's a wife, and she has her own podcast, I'm Living Well Rounded, among other things. But she will talk about those things a little later in the show. But right now, we're going to get started. And Kwame, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah. Well, first I wanted to mention that we one man short this recording.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I did forget that. How can I do it? I'm sorry. Go ahead. You got it.
Yeah, and basically Jamie's a little ill a little ill today, whatever. So we went ahead and pressed on. I know he had a pretty lit homecoming as well, so I can tell by the pictures and everything. So, brother, hope you get better and get well soon.
And we want to send our condolences to his wife, Faith.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
her father just passed away, so we definitely want to send our heartfelt condolences out to her and her family.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, I guess to try to move on, whatever and stuff. It's funny because we mentioned homecoming, and the topic kind of leads to maybe people's attitude. You don't have to necessarily go to homecoming or go to college, but there will be. I think I overheard something where it was an instance where people may feel like once you kind of cross the threshold with somebody, do you feel like that like if you got intimate with somebody, do you feel like you can always have the chance to get intimate with that person depending on the circumstances? So some people have that attitude as if like, okay, once I kind of dealt with this person, that vagina's mine forever. Or if I guess if a woman case, I don't know if women feel that way or not. I guess Geomyra can speak on it, and she be the spokeswoman for all women.
The pressure.
I know, right?
The pressure.
But I know sometimes with guys who may feel that way, but just thinking about it, I guess I'm more curious about like, is that your feeling? Do you think guys feel like that in general? I guess, like I said, or women, and why do you think they feel that way?
Or person. We got people have so many different.
Oh yeah, sure.
Genders, or not genders. I'm sorry. Pete, your mate, or the person you've dealt with sexually. That's the question. Do you feel like you could always go back and get that anytime you get ready? Is that a better way to pose it?
Yeah. I guess it's more politically correct to say it that way. If we're covering all bases, but and it may vary. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't feel the way some do, but I'm interested to kind of know why, if you do or don't. I feel like I should go to a male that I want to just to get a male perspective, since Geomyra is the only woman. Then I'm gonna go back to Geomyra. So Jermaine, I'm gonna let you lead. Like, I want you to lead. Like, what you about to say?
And you know what? What? I knew you were gonna come. You were gonna throw it to me first. I was waiting to see what somebody.
Are you waiting? Well, I can go first.
No. No. I mean, I can go. No, it's up to you. Well, I guess you told me to go, so I'm gonna go. Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead and go, Jermaine. I'm very curious to see what you have to say about this.
Jermaine looks uncomfortable.
Damn, no, he looked like he ain't been before.
No. So here's the deal. So the question is, do I feel like it's something that is forever mine, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Attitude.
The attitude.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So let me say this. Let me preface what I'm about to say with this. So I was always told that you never. It's almost like a leasing agreement, right? I was always told it's kind of like you never own it, right? I was young. I was a teenager. Old heads would tell me that. But from my personal experiences, this is my personal experiences. I think the quality of the sex leaves that window open, right? So from my experiences, I felt like it was it was a little bit more, maybe some sort of emotional attachment with the quality of sex, right? It wasn't just like I can just say, okay, call somebody up. We've gone on with our lives, but the window is still cracked, is what I'm saying. This is my personal experience. It hasn't, you know what I'm saying? And even still, I wouldn't say that it's mine, so to speak. I think it was more so it was other things, right? It was like quality of conversation, or we just vibe. We just got on the bandwidth. That probably was new to the person, or whatever the case may be. But me personally, I don't think it's anybody I can just say it's mine. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of anybody in mind. And the other thing is this I want to say too. I think women look at it differently. I don't know. I think and what I mean by that is when you go your separate ways and you get into relationships and stuff like that, I will say this though. I think everybody thinks about that one person, or maybe one or two people who it was just good. Like, you know what I mean? It was like real good or whatever the case may be. But I think the downside is once you move on, if it's not whatever once you move on and you date somebody else or whatever, get married, whatever. I think everybody thinks about this too. On the flip side of that coin, I think it's like if you place that against the backdrop to who you're with, and if it's not, as time goes on, if it's not as fulfilling, I think you kind of want that. I don't know. I'm not married.
Does it vary though? Know what I'm saying? So like versus like if somebody that you're using a relationship with, right? And y'all had a relationship versus somebody that you may it was a casual encounter. Does that differ for you, or does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I've been on for one time. If I really, really felt all the stars lined up, together, and if I really wanted to, you know what I'm saying, I probably could. Considering
in that case, absolutely. In that case, absolutely. I don't know. I mean, when a woman tells you that it's yours, you can't. You just take it with a grain of salt. I've had women say, yeah, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? But
Wait.
yeah, but in that case, yeah. I mean, in that case, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I still wouldn't say it's mine. I think the opportunity is mine. You know what I'm saying?
No, so let me be clear. So what I'm hearing you say is,
let's be clear, because I don't want nobody hit me up like, man, I heard what
so
you
I'm
said.
hearing you say is when a woman has told you when you've had sex with her and she said, it's yours, this is yours.
Absolutely.
In your head, you think, this is mine.
No.
You don't?
No, what I'm saying is no. I'm thinking an opportunity.
Okay.
To get it again is mine, but it's not mine.
Yeah, and to be clear too, like people can misconstrue what you're saying, and they're like, "Oh, you're trying to take somebody as their property." Nobody's saying all that. We're talking about like the opportunity, because the confidence you've been in that role, and you know what I'm saying, and since you've been in that role, it might be a feeling of familiarity there that you feel like that maybe somebody you haven't done that role with. But I'm just going to kick it to Geomyra because I don't want to hear a female experience, a past boyfriend or whatever the case may be. Like, do women think like that? Like, oh, I've been with this, this guy, and if I really wanted to, and I know you're married, so I'm hypothetically, all right? If you're a single woman, hypothetically, you're a single woman, and or whatever, and then you feel like, that if you wanted to, be with the guy, whatever, that the confidence there that if I really wanted to, I could, or does it vary for a little different for women, or at least for you? I'm speak for yourself.
Or at least the thought of that. I'm from a woman, just the whole idea of that. Do women even think like that?
Well, a few things. Well, one, Kwame, thank you for the disclaimer. Yes, I am married, going on year 15.
All right, congratulations, Black love.
Yeah, thank you for that. So it was a few things that Jermaine said that was very interesting to me. And first, my thought was when you said the opportunity in the door, if it's open, the goal should always be that if you do what you're supposed to do, then the door should always be open and there should always be opportunity because you did what you were supposed to do. So that's my thought there. Now, of course, people get married. Let's just take marriage off the table. I just feel like that's not a safe territory.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, for the single people, again, it's that they want that old thing back situation. Like, yes, we moved on, but you do what you're supposed to do. The door should still be open because, they may still want it. I think it comes down to me to intimacy and connection. And like you said, if you're on the same wavelength and bandwidth, then people are going to be attracted to that and they're going to want that. If it's a whole one night stand situation, of course, people aren't going to think that they could go, and hit it again or do whatever. But if all the stars align and all the boxes are checked where you were good to that person, it was good to you, there's no bad blood, then yeah, most people are going to think that the door is open and they can just slide in anytime they want to.
I'm gonna ask you, how you ever been in a situation where you feel like the person you're with, I guess, or your mate, whatever, where another woman may had that same energy towards the person you with and you there, and is it something that you can see or feel?
Absolutely not. No fear over here. Knock on wood. That's cute. No,
okay.
I think that no. Let's also another disclaimer. I married my high school sweetheart, so I'm in a whole different boat. However, I have put myself in the position where I thought ahead. God forbid things don't work out with us. I feel that very confidently that if I wanted it, I could figure out a way to get it.
Okay.
Wow.
That's all.
Feisty.
That's confidence.
Right.
Rashad, what about you, man?
No, I've never felt that way, that it's always mine. Two different reasons. One, I personally just think all men think that. I don't know no man that would not think he could always go back and get the chick that he smashed, regardless how serious the relationship was or not. I just think most men think that way. Most of the ones I talk to anyway. However, I personally have never felt that way, only because I've only been in one serious relationship in my entire life, and I'm with that person. But all those other random chicks that I was messing with, it didn't mean nothing to me anyway. It was just that what it was. So I never felt like, oh, I can get that back. I didn't care because that wasn't my focus. It was just that, and I'm out. I always had the thought process. The person I want, I'm not going to treat and go after the same way that I'm going after those. It was simply that this is what it is. Move on to the next, and bye. I've never had that thought. I can get it.
Hey, my brother, can I jump in real quick and say, all of those other women and on to the next, I cannot stop laughing about. I'm like, damn, Keishar, you want to, that's a whole nother podcast episode.
A whole different topic, right?
Don't get me wrong, no shade to those women, because some of them do listen to this podcast. What I'm saying is that wasn't my focus with them. It was, and I know they knew that too. It was like, this is what it is, and you move on. You know what I'm saying? All right, because my focus was somewhere else. So if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, and I think it does, but I'm just, and I guess you're saying you're not going in thinking like, oh, I want to get with this person, or I don't. I guess it's kind of a little bit harder to think like that when you're in a situation of being married, of course. You know what I'm saying? So I have to.
Why are you talking about being
married? But you know what though? I will. My bad. Go ahead. My bad, fam. Go ahead, bro.
I'm not talking about being married though. I'm talking about at that time when I was out there doing me.
Before you was married, you saying?
Before I was married, yeah. And in between the on again, off again stuff we had going on, because there was some breaks in there and stuff. Right. So it was strictly, this is it. So even if I did mess with somebody again, it wasn't a thought of, I know I can get it. It just happened again. So it wasn't like, this is mine, I'm gonna go get it. For me.
And you know what? Hey, Quan, give me one second. I think too, now I'm thinking about it. I think the situations I can think about where I knew the opportunity was there. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say it had nothing to do with sex. I'd be lying if I didn't say that. It did have something to do with sex, but also it was like a genuine vibe connection. You know what I'm saying? More so like we were like really cool. It didn't work out for us to be together. Then they move on, and it's just still there for whatever reason. But I mean, most times at that point, I didn't pursue it. You know what I'm saying? But I want to clear it up. It definitely happened. I can't remember what I said earlier, but again, it kind of veered away from the whole sex thing. I think sex initiated that opportunity being there, but it was more so like everything after that. Does that make sense? I think Geomyra kind of cleared that up too, when she was saying that.
So the bottom line is does it matter how good the sex is? Because
absolutely, yeah. I'm not saying that.
I think some people are going to think about it. Some people are going to think about it a little bit, more than someone else. But I do think people have boundaries and self-control, so they will definitely exercise that. But it doesn't mean they're not going to think about it, daydream about it, do other things. But I think you got to give people credit for having self-control to not act on these feelings and to just kind of put it in a box and keep it moving so they don't get themselves in trouble either. But
yeah, I think you made a good point too. And I think, like I said, looking from a viewpoint where I had a long period of time, I guess Jamie Farr's category is me. Like we have both of us had a long period of time of being single before getting married, and of course Jermaine's still single. So it's like, yeah. So now, like, cause I agree. Like just saying, like as being married, being a married man, like, and you run into somebody, like I don't go in thinking about it, and it's about oh yeah, I can get the old thing back. As Geomyra had mentioned earlier, but like. I think prior to that, if I ran across somebody, and even then, it might not even because I want to, it's more of a confidence thing. Like I bet if I maybe wanted to and everything in line and that person wasn't in a relationship. I'm just gonna, and keep in mind, it gotta be different factors into all those things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying somebody who's in a loving, committed relationship and and they moved on, whatever like that. But if they single and I'm single and in line, I probably have more of a confidence that I could because I already did it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't necessarily think, oh, it's yours forever, because I think these other factors also matter. But also, I mean, I think we've been in situations where, especially being younger, like, oh, I mean, it's a confidence thing. Like, oh, okay, I already, did this. So if everything happened, it probably could, if whatever. But I mean, I guess a situation where somebody might be like, I would never mess with you again. You know what I'm saying? But you may feel that, like, you might feel differently, but she might have a whole different take about you. And I don't even think it necessarily being about how good it is. It could be just different reasons. I mean, that probably matters to a certain extent, though. But yeah, I mean, I think
then part.
Go ahead, man.
I'm sorry. Part of it too, I think men sometimes we can a way that we feel we feel really intrepid, the way that we feel manly and masculine is through sexual performance, right? We kind of validate ourselves. So if we feel like we put it on somebody, then it's like, we feel like in our minds, like, damn, she ain't never had it like that, whatever the case may be. And I think that's I know for me, maybe I'm speaking on me, maybe I'm speaking for my brothers, but
No, you are.
yeah, at that point, I'm like, absolutely. And you would never get this again like this. You won't get this. That's kind of how I'm thinking. But
spoiler alert, women lie. So they might have told you one thing and it could have been completely other. And most women, they just even trying to be nice, may say, oh, it's yours and da 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 da. So I guess you got to test this out, Jermaine, to figure out.
Absolutely, I gotta test it out.
Do some research.
I'm doing
test study.
Do some market research and get back to us.
And I'm gonna follow up with y'all on this thing.
Just let us know.
Yeah, please give a conclusion on that. But I mean, I think I even went this to a point where I might have seen it even with it's two encounters in my mind that I've seen it like with somebody that I'm with, like how a dude might have been looking at me, looking at the person I was with. I'm like, this nigga looking like he can still, what I'm saying? Like, at least in his mind, he feel that way. Hopefully, one of them probably would have given him up. But you know what I'm saying? But, I learned about her history later. You know who that is, though. But I even kind of seen, I caught a back end of that one time before me and my wife got married. And I went to their first homecoming. And I came on a back end when we were on the way going to the party, whatever and stuff. One of her line sisters told her that her ex was going to be at the party. So keep in mind, my first time down there, I knew a handful of people, but it's all the people I knew through her. But also, there's a lot of different people I don't know. You hugging people and people you just don't recognize because it could be friends from school and stuff. But I caught the back end of a situation where I was walking around, but happened to walk up, and the dude was kind of like, my wife's, well, show my wife then, but in her face. But the way he was looking like he felt like he had some kind of confidence in there. I'm like, this nigga's tripping over here. But then by the time I had walked up, he had kind of walked off. But she might have told me what I need to hear, so I won't be upset. But
can I ask you this though? Is he not supposed to walk with confidence?
No,
like
no,
type of swag?
No. I understand it as a guy. Like I know the look because I've been in that situations. What I'm saying, that's the reason I asked earlier. Like I seen both sides of it. Like me feeling that way, and then seeing it like from like an out of body experience, looking like this nigga feel like he's feeling himself. You know what I'm saying? Like the little look and the confidence. Like you can tell it's a history there, and I'm seeing the history of something that I'm unaware of. You know what I'm saying? I heard of the person, but I never seen it. But I'm like, damn, this nigga feeling like he's feeling himself. And then by the time, I don't know. But yeah, it's something.
Right.
But yeah.
It happens. So that's what I was actually, but you brought that up, I was going to ask Geomyra, like, I know Kwame asked you, you noticed it with somebody trying to approach your because not approach, but that confidence, like, oh, I can still get that. But have you ever been in a situation where an ex was looking at you like, I know I can still get it, even though you might have known he can't, but he's looking at you like, I know I can still.
No, I don't think they tried. There are some people, and that's not even exes. It could just be some random that has the confidence that thinks that they can get it or turn it or flip it or whatever. And like I said, that's fine. People are human, so you can look, you can give them the eyes, you can do whatever. But my rule of thumb is, we know the status of our relationship. It's not their job to know the status of our relationship. So with all of that about people still getting it or whatever, I feel like, again, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and it's solid, if that thing was old, it may have been left for a reason, and you're still here for another reason. So yeah, I don't knock on wood, I don't have many people like coming up to me like, you know, flirty or whatever from the past. It sometimes may be people who may try it that have no idea what they, you know, up against, type of thing.
So it's safe to say that we came to the conclusion that it's not yours forever then. Basically.
Nothing is forever.
That's forever. Okay. All right. Thought we threw it out there with that.
There you go.
That's what old heads used to tell me. It's not forever.
That's what they tell you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So moving right on then to the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is funny. This actually has happened to me the last couple of months. What was there as a time in your life, now being the age you are, that you found out something or learned something recently that most people already knew? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what age was that? For example, you know, dealing with your kids and they're in school, and it's been so many years since we've been in school. So, you know, I be finding out things like, oh, I didn't know that. And, you know, the kids looking at me sideways like, how you didn't know that? You know, as old as you are. So I actually wrote it down, 4 things that I recently found out at 45 years old. And I felt so crazy when my kids told me this. So, for example, I didn't know that pickles were cucumbers. I didn't know that. I felt very slow. I did not know that.
Hey, it's nothing wrong. Hey,
Really,
we don't know everything.
I did not know that. I was like, what? Okay, that was 1. 2, I did not know that sunflower seeds came from sunflowers. I did not. I did not know that.
Hold on.
You tripping, yo.
No, I didn't. I had no clue.
Hold on, stop right there. So where do you think sunflower seeds came from? If they didn't come from sunflowers,
right?
I'm just curious.
Peanut trees.
I did not. I thought they like just grew like in the ground, and then somehow they get packaged in the store.
Oh, okay.
Like, I didn't. It didn't. I just didn't know. I was like, oh, okay.
Me asking that question, I'm not trying to shame you because I'm pretty sure with stuff you all don't know.
No, we talked about it, so you asked. What?
Yeah, I was curious. Like, where did it come from? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. And then what's the other one? I wrote the other one down. Oh, I didn't know that cigar was short for cigarette. Like, I didn't. That just never.
A lot of people don't know that
crossed my mind. And I happened to be in a
I
cigar
don't
store.
know either.
Right. Yeah, I would be in a cigar store, and you know, the guy was just telling me different things, and he said something about, well, you know, the cigarette, blah, blah, blah. I was like, cigarettes? He's like, yeah, you do know a cigar is short for cigarettes. So I was like, oh yeah, I did.
You trying to play it off?
I played it off, like,
right.
You just taught me something just now, because I didn't know that either. To be honest with you.
Yeah, they had no clue. And then the last one was just recently, but I don't think this is new, but I didn't know a rom-com. I didn't know that was a romantic comedy. Like, it's my first thing. Like, what is a rom-com? I'm thinking like it's some festival you go to, you know. I didn't know.
I thought it was cosplay or something, huh? Niggas dressing up to go to be a superhero.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had no clue. So those are mine that I was just like, okay, at 45, you learn these things that you probably should have known a long time ago. But hey, you never too old to learn is what I say.
Dang,
So,
yeah.
That's interesting, man. Like, yeah, especially with the sunflower thing. That's interesting.
That's a nice way to put what you're really thinking.
Right.
That's interesting.
So, Geomyra.
God, I have to think about this one because I can't think of anything that just like jumps out right away. I'm always fascinated by the hacks that we see on social media,
Right.
where people will post like the memes of things that we didn't know how to do, like how to open something or
Yeah.
how things are supposed to be open, and we're doing it the hard way in the
Right,
beginning,
right, right,
and
right,
you're
right,
like, what the hell, this
right.
whole time?
I didn't know
Like,
this.
yeah, like you could cut open a bag of something and then, dip the whatever in it. So now I actually look at things differently. Like, is
Right.
this how you're supposed to open it? Is this how you're supposed to use it? But like you, my child challenges me every single day. She's like a walking fact. Did you know that? I'm like, girl, I forgot that after elementary school. No.
Right.
So like
Keeping you
you,
sharp.
Right.
keeping me sharp, but I'm like, she's much more advanced than me already. So I'm like, no, I don't remember or know any of those things. But it's
Oh,
like the
never knew.
and grapes and raisins and all of that kind of stuff. It's all the
Right.
same. At some age, we figure it out. But I
Right.
mean, come back to me. I'm gonna think about something that just like blew my mind
Okay,
at some
cool.
point. It's gonna
Right.
come back. It's gonna come.
Okay, Kwame, what about you?
Yeah, what Jamar said, yeah, but like the hacks, like, of course, like the one where when you have like a pot and then they got like the opening or the handle part where you're supposed to put like the spoon or the part, the spatula where to let it rest on, like you're supposed to put it in I guess in the hole. And I didn't
Right.
realize that until one of the little hack things I read. And of course, which I don't know, black person do this, where like I guess I don't say the old school oven, but like I guess the conventional oven that people have maybe before, and everybody got nice ovens and stuff now. But like then the little bottom drawer where you're supposed to store food, I'm like, I don't know nobody who store food in that little bottom drawer
I thought
of
you're
the
supposed to
oven.
put pots and pans in there.
Nah, that's supposed to be a food warmer. Supposedly, like when you cook your food. Yeah, everybody black, probably put pots and pans in. That's what I thought too. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, but that's supposed to be a spot like when you cooking your
Shit.
food and you're making a
Yeah.
big meal, you're supposed to put that, and that's supposed to keep your food warm as if you while you're cooking.
Right.
I didn't know that till recent, and then even the other thing was like the banana, like how you supposed to peel a banana, like like I guess the end where the bananas, I guess, is attached to the whole group of bananas, whatever, or the bunch of bananas. Like I
Mhm.
always peel from that end, but then you're supposed to peel for the other end.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, I didn't know either. But then but it's easier to peel because I started trying it once I read it, and then when I realized when you watch like cartoons and stuff like that, or even movies, you look at it most time like the monkeys or whatever the animals eating the banana, they peel from the right end, which is not the end that attached to the whole bunch. And I was like, damn, I've been doing it wrong for all this, all these years. But I was going.
Oh God.
I had two different
I gotta change up my banana game now.
yeah. You got to change it. And actually, it's
Yeah,
more
I thought
cleaner.
you pull it from I thought you pull it from the stem. You pull it down from the stem.
Yeah,
But it's the bottom.
now you pull it the
Right.
opposite end, and then you hold the stem area.
That's how you throw it away.
Yeah. That's how you do it. It's more clean. That's how you're supposed to do it. I'm like, damn, I'm like 40-something years old learning this. But I had two like different stories I was going to share. The other one I cannot think of to save my life. And I've been racking my brain and I cannot remember what it was, but it was something I learned recently. I'm like, damn, it was something good. I thought it was, but all right. So everybody remember that song, I'm assuming, right? And I was listening to something, whatever. Do you know the meaning behind that song?
Not at all.
Well, so I thought listening to a podcast, whatever, and they were talking about it, and that wasn't even like the subject of what they were talking about, but they referenced it. And when they were referencing it, I guess the people on the podcast, they was talking about it like that's something that everybody knows. I'm like, well, is it something everybody know? But basically, we all know, like I said, that was a culture club, and Boy George was like the lead singer. We already know that he's homosexual. But when he was singing that song or made that particular song, he was referencing that song to his bandmate that was the drummer. I forgot it. I don't know his name. And the drummer was actually married. Had a family, everything, was married. But that was like that was his. They had like a romance, whatever, and stuff. And he came up with that song called, Karma Chameleon, basically saying you come and go. So they were kind of messing on and off. But I guess the dude was like, fighting his boundaries in terms of his family, but he was dealing with Boy George. But the way they was talking about it, matter of factly, I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I remember because I was young when that song came out. I probably didn't really know what the words mean. But is that something that y'all knew this, or is something that maybe not a common knowledge or whatever?
I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me because with those bands, that was happening. For example, Mick Jagger was messing with his bandmates.
Oh, he was.
I'm not sure if it was Keith, but I know Mick Jagger and some of his bandmates had those sexual relationships. So I think that just was the thing.
I was gonna say it was kind of common back then.
It was coming.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor did
Richard
that.
Pryor, Richard Pryor did it.
Right. So I think
Yeah.
in those Hollywood circles and those bands, I think that was just common knowledge. I mean, to them.
To them, not to the world.
Right. It was just normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting because, like I said, I heard the song. I ain't heard it in a long time, but heard the song as a kid growing up. We know back in the the 80s, whatever, like that. And like I said, as a kid, now I think about a lot of song lyrics. I probably didn't know what it meant, but I didn't know the backstory of it. But the way it was saying it was old news, and I'm like, oh, that's the first time I heard this. So that stuck in my mind when I was trying to think of something. But it was another story, but I can't even think what that is right now. I forgot. Yeah.
I'll jump in. It was a meme I saw where it said I was today years old when I found out the dial on the toaster were actually minutes and not intervals. I was like, okay.
I didn't know that.
Really, Jim.
I just thought that, hey, that meant that it was just getting, how you want your toast blackety black?
Right.
I didn't say, okay, 2 minutes for toast, 3 minutes for toast. Everybody's toast is different. So, yeah.
So you saying the dial actually is not how dark you want it, but it's how long you want it to be cooked.
The ones that have the actual numbers on them. Like mine upstairs has a number on it.
Yeah.
And it's set to in between a 2 and a 3.
Yeah. But I didn't know that either. I didn't know that until you just
2.5 minutes.
So guess what? We educate ourselves right here today, and probably the audience too, because I heard about 3 or 4 things I didn't know. So like I said, we always learning.
I did hear the one about the bananas though.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So
recently.
Oh, recently. Okay.
Have you been doing it, Geomyra? Have you been doing it?
I don't eat bananas.
Oh, right. Right.
No, I actually don't like bananas. So yeah, y'all was talking about peeling them and eating them.
Well, it's funny because I don't like bananas either, but I like banana pudding. Ain't that weird?
No, that's me. I like sweet potato pie, but I don't eat sweet potatoes.
Wow.
It's the sugar.
Right.
Jermaine, do you go? Did everybody go?
Jermaine go.
Yeah. All right. So it's 3 things. The first thing is, so you guys know my sister and I were looking for properties. We've been down North Carolina trying to find some stuff. So we're thinking about purchasing a mobile home unit. And I found out, I didn't know, you guys might know this, but I didn't know that when you I guess it depends on the state. When you purchase like a trailer or mobile home, you actually have to go to the DMV to register the trailer because it's considered a vehicle because it's mobile.
It makes sense, but I didn't know.
Right. So that's what I was told recently.
But even the brick in joint, like somebody brick they trailer, like how some people put like some bricks in it and stuff, and they make it
right.
modern and look more like a house.
It doesn't modify because at the end of the day, it's still able. Minus the bricks, it can be moved. It's a mobile unit. It was built and constructed as a mobile unit, not a foundational home like a home here.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Education we all getting here. All right.
Right. All right. So it's 3 things. That was the first thing. The second thing, I recently found this out too, after a flight. So you guys know how everybody up here, when you fly, you had a little, what is it? The neck pillow on. So those are made, we have them on like this so we can grab it, right? So it's space right here. But they're made, we're supposed to put them on this way. So there's no space, right? The space is in the back. I didn't know that. I've been rocking mine like every time I get on the plane, I'm like this, right? So that's the other thing. And the last thing I didn't know, this shit might be off topic, but I got some cousins who I didn't know were cousins until like a recent family reunion. Like I didn't know some of my uncles had kids. I didn't know. I didn't know. Like they grown as fuck now, like they're our age.
Mhm.
And I didn't and when I saw him, I was like, yeah, you look like somebody, you look like this. And then, somebody older family be like, yeah, that's your cousin. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. So I'm like, I asked my mother, I was like, Mom, did you know that? She was like, yeah, I knew.
Yeah.
Why I'm the only one that didn't know?
Yeah.
So, but I guess it's a good thing. But I absolutely had no clue. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say that shit. If they see this, so what? Who cares? But
That's what I'm
anyway,
saying. You can leave some family secrets on this joint.
that's how it affected me. It affected me like that. I might got PTSD. PTSD. I mean, I feel like, I won't go down that road because then I'll really be talking about family. But anyway, that's what I found out.
Yeah,
I'll leave it at that.
Uncle Oz with illegitimate kid or something down here that had about happened in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think we all got that situation going on. Yeah.
We all stopped to look at you like, who you about to snitch on?
Yeah, I bet you
Right.
put some names out there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, Jermaine.
Oh, my bad. All right. So speaking of, real quick. So we talked about owning stuff earlier, right?
Owning cooch and penis.
Oh, right. What does that mean though? What does that really mean to own it? Like when you own it, what does that mean? Like we need to really have a definitive conversation about that. What is
You
owning
said
it?
you said you
never
do some
owned it.
market research and let us know, so you get back to us.
Yeah. Give me a couple weeks. Let me research it for about a couple weeks.
Man, you
I'm gonna
never
figure this
own it,
thing
man.
out.
It's all for lease, man. It's all for lease.
That's what old head told me too when I was about 14. Anyway, here we go. All right, so can you guys think of any emojis that represent like flirtatious thoughts? Any emojis?
Come
Yeah.
on, Jane.
Right.
The
This is my
obvious
point.
one. Come on.
So which emojis do women use to flirt? Quick question. Just a quick question.
First of all, unless you are a chef or a farmer, do not send anybody the eggplant emoji.
It's the water, right? It's the
Not the water.
flash.
Eggplant emoji
Uh-huh.
is a no. If you want to flirt with someone, yeah, you can do all that. But if you're sending an egg, do not accidentally send somebody the eggplant emoji. That's
Okay. And what are some emojis that fellas got men and women that are flirtatious?
That's the one she talking
This
about.
is the main one. Yeah, that
Okay.
one can go both ways. The
Went
girl
both ways,
and
right.
eggplant and dudes and
That
chicks,
one?
they can go either way.
the one with the 3 little drops that look like
Oh,
some
the splash. Yeah.
Flash.
flash one.
Yeah.
The peach
Okay.
emoji. The peach emoji.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot about that one. All right. So I guess the question is,
Wait, hold on. You put the three of them together. That's a good time.
Yeah, that's a whole paragraph.
That's a whole like conversation right there.
So how would you feel if your mate were getting some of these emojis from someone, even if it wasn't anything really going on, but you just happen to stumble across. Kashara, you was about to say something. I'm gonna let you lead us on that.
Well, first of all, I would never know. What do you say? For the phone goes, if someone is sending my wife those type of things in text messages, I wouldn't know because I don't go through her phone to know that. So I would never know that.
Right.
Social media, if it's somebody that we both follow and I saw that, yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way about that. Like, why is this person sending you this? And 2, did you notice it? And then did you check it? You know what I mean? Because that is just inappropriate. It shouldn't be happening. Now, what I can say is, because we've actually had this conversation a couple of months ago, like she asked me, no, we was talking about something. We were talking about somebody else because it's been an issue with somebody else in their household, like emojis and just different emojis you send. Not even those 3 we talked about, but just those ones. And so she was like, yeah, when I see when you see somebody like the heart eyes or the kissy faces or something like that, but it don't bother me. And I'm like, it shouldn't bother you because you know me and you know that's not where I'm going with it. And first of all, if I was trying to do something, I wouldn't do it out there for you to see it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I know you could see it, so why would I do that? But that's not me anyway. But I do feel like some there are some emojis that are inappropriate, but I think it also goes back to who you're with and on the person that you're with, because I'm friendly with everybody, but I know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. You know what I mean? Like I could see, a female friend or a female family, whoever, I could see something. I'm like, oh, you look cute or whatever. Send a heart or send a kiss, like miss you to friend, whatever, just simple stuff. But some women or men could feel some type of way about that type of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I'm fortunate enough to be in a relationship where she trusts me, you know what I mean? So if I do something like that, it's not, she ain't insecure, so it wouldn't be a big deal. Now, if I'm sending eggplants and peaches and splashes and stuff, that's a whole nother conversation. Then yeah, she should definitely check me, because like, why are you doing that? And vice versa. Like I said, why somebody sending it to you? But like I said, even the simple stuff that I do, hearting something or send somebody a kiss or heart.
Who you sending a kiss to? That's not, are you talking about your honor somebody, you mean? Or
no, just in general. I have like female friends that if I see a post or something, or whatever, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. Or if they give me or if you give somebody a compliment and they write back, and I'm like, oh, I miss you too. Hope to see you soon. Kiss. Like, but it's nothing, it ain't nothing to it, because it's not like that. It's kind of like a greeting. Like if I saw you, I would give you a hug. You know what I'm saying? Or a kiss on the cheek or something like that. It's nothing I wouldn't do if I saw you. So that's how I'm responding to it. But she don't have an issue with that, thank God, because I'm being me. But don't get me wrong, if she said it makes me uncomfortable, I don't like when you do that, then I would stop. Would it be a conversation? Yeah, I still have a conversation about it. I'm like, I don't mean nothing by it. But just the fact she's saying to make her uncomfortable, I wouldn't do it, because
So let me ask you this. So what you're saying is, what you said was, my intentions. These emojis are an extension of my intentions. Nothing's going on. So does that mean, if we will flip the coin, does that mean that if your Tawana was doing the same thing, her intentions, you'll be cool with that? The same exact emojis that you sent.
Good question.
Same situation.
If I know the person that she's doing it to, yeah. If I know the person.
But
just so you'll be okay with. Go ahead, Jameer.
I'm specifically, because you mentioned, you was like, basically was saying, listen, you know my intentions, you know what I'm not trying to do, whatever the case may be. So what I'm saying is, your intentions, right? She knows your intentions. She knows your intentions. So the emojis are just an extension or reflection of your intentions. So what I'm saying is, if you know your wife's intentions and she was sending the exact same emojis that you're sending with the exact same intentions, how would you feel about that?
If I know the person and I know the relationship, I wouldn't care. But if it's some random, then I'll be like, what is this? Even if her intentions are like, this is my coworker or this is my friend, but I don't know them. That's the thing. Like, you can have no intentions, but I don't know this person. So how can I say the intention? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
No,
yeah, kind of, but not really.
You said, but I know her. And you said, I know her and I trust her.
Right.
So you should know that it should never be anything up for discussion, because you don't roll like that.
No, but I know men too. So you have to be careful about what you're putting out into other person, how they receive it. That's the difference.
That's very much fair.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
I got you all day, but does he understand that? That's what I'm saying, because I don't know him. Does you see what I'm saying? I don't know this person. So does that person understand that this means nothing?
But he knows them enough to feel comfortable enough to send them said emojis with the kissies and the eggplant and the wet.
No, not no.
I'm kidding. JK, kidding.
Yeah. So, but I see what you're saying. Maybe I guess it's a double standard. I'm just saying, because I know how men think. You have to make sure that person knows. Basically, y'all on the same. But like, put it this way: there is no female in my life that my wife don't know. I make it a point to make sure she knows them. Even if she looking at them sideways, she's going to know them, because I don't want no misinterpretation of anything. Can that still happen? Yes, it's still like, I don't like that or whatever. But I make it a point to make sure she knows every female that I deal with. And I still have to be cautious. Like I said, you gotta know your boundaries. Be cautious of still when you do said things. Like there are some people that she has met that she don't know like that, but I have introduced her to. I would never send those type of emojis to those people because she don't know them. She just knows of them. And I don't want to confuse her to make her think something. You know what I'm saying? Even if she knows me, I don't want to send no mixed messages.
Well, let me ask you a question. Well, who will you be comfortable with? Because I'm kind of piggyback what Jermaine's saying is the fact that, like, of course, take the obvious stuff out. We are on the peach stuff, whatever. But like even listening to what you're saying, like to me, even the kissy emoji is almost kind of a little suspect to me personally. I think that even if we were a friend or not, I think it's leaving an interpretation to it. Maybe the heart emoji might be a little different because I love that, or I love the outfit. But we talking the kissy emoji. I mean, that's not as bad as the other one, but that's still kind of interpretation. And even just
kiss
it's towing the line. I think
it
it's towing the line.
depends on the person too. I think it depends on the type. Like I don't say a kiss with a heart. I would just say like a kiss. You know what I mean?
Let me just say, like, I have a lot of male friends, and like you, my husband knows all of my male friends, and we tell our friends, love you, miss you, you know, we do all of that. But my only male friend that I might send a like kissy face to is my gay male friend, and not my other male friends. I'm not sending them no kisses. I will send a heart, like, so sorry to hear you're sick, heart, but it ain't sorry to hear you're sick, kissy face. Now that to me translates to sorry to hear you're sick, boo. Mwah, hope you feel better type of thing. Not a nah. We ain't doing that. We got even the hard eyes sometimes could be, you know, a situation for some people.
Yeah.
To me, you know, whatever. It's the kissy face because your lips touching the person. We don't need to do all that. That's because that to me how it translates is I'm giving you a kiss, and we don't need to do all that. Hug. If there's a hug emoji, hugs, kisses. No, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, and I understand context too, you know what I'm saying? It's all interpretation, but I do think that, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because even I'm looking, and like I say, this viewers can't really see, I guess they can see it, but even when Jermaine asked that question and he's asking you about if it's the exact same thing, it's like you was doing some thinking over there if you was kind of putting yourself in that situation, depending who it was and all that stuff too. You kind of cleared up. You kind of cleared up what we know. What you were saying, like, well, somebody you know of, you won't feel comfortable with. But I was about to ask, well, who would you be okay with that's not a relative of her that she gives a kissy, you know, emoji to? Like, who fits that line for you? Like, if you
my friends, like any of y'all, like I wouldn't get torn and sent some of y'all on social media. You away, she ain't seen you in a long time. Oh, I miss y'all, kissy face. I want to see y'all soon. That would not bother me because it's y'all. That don't bother me. If it was some random, it probably would bother me. Again, her intentions might be fine, but I still, like I said, it probably would bother me. Just like I know with her, the female friends that she know, even though she don't know them, I know it probably would bother her if I did that. So I wouldn't do it, and I don't do that. I'm saying when I say female friends, I'm talking about friends, like people she know, people I ride or die people. Like if I sent Kelly a kissy face, you would be feeling some type of way about that? Geomyra, if I sent you a kissy face, feel some type of way about that? To me, certain people, I feel like you know what it is, so why would you interpret it to make it something more than what it is?
Well, it's a double standard though too. Females could send a kissy face and it's lighthearted, I feel like, but if men are going around sending kissy faces, I don't know. I think that could also be a double standard in it, that if I sent a kissy face like, oh, for example, Kishara was great chatting with you guys. XO, mwah, have a good night. No, but if you typed a different message, first of all, Phil, I guess that's a bad example because he wouldn't care if you sent me the message, but
see, that's my point. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's also not common practice for my male friends to be sending me kissy face emojis. So it may raise an eyebrow to somebody, and then they might say, but that's not
But
common.
it still be back to somebody's mind, even if they don't think nothing of it. You
Their
know?
eyebrow might raise and then it may pass, but
Yeah.
But you know what? Not to play devil's advocate, but to Kashara point, I'm thinking about something. You guys know Gwen Daniels. She's engaged now.
Okay.
She reached out probably about 3 weeks ago. And this may be kind of like biased because our relationship we're really like
Close, yeah.
family, but really close. Never thought about, neither one of us ever thought about anything but doing anything. But she recently sent me one. I was looking through my phone. Man, I'm getting married. Want you to come to the wedding? And a kissy emoji. And obviously, but I guess because we come from the grassroots together, I didn't think anything about it. Over the weekend, homecoming weekend, I'm not a couple, but I got one. It didn't really raise an eyebrow, but I'm like, yo, I ain't seen you in like 8 years. Is that an opportunity? No, I'm just playing. But my point is this, because Charo, I think what I did hear from you though is it depends on the relationship that you have with those females that you send those things to, right? Okay, so I guess part of my question was, are you
And
asking?
it's not like an all the time thing to go ahead.
Right. But the other part was, and listen, I'm talking about anybody, not just you, but since you made
if it's something I'm doing wrong, please check me for me to pivot and do something else because I don't want to be caught up in nothing. So
well, right. Well, I'm not well, okay. So my point is this, because I want to be fair here, and we can underscore a double standard where it exists, but it sounds like what you're saying is, hey, my wife, she knows my female friends, the folks who I send these types of emojis to, she knows them, she's been around them. But when I asked that question, I should have finished it. I should have been more clear. Meaning, if your wife were to send, if Tawana were to send the same exact emojis to male friends who you knew, male friends who had similar relationships that you have with these female friends, at that point, how would you feel about that? And I should have been more clear. I apologize. I should have been more clear with that.
Yeah, I just answered it. I won't care.
That's the question.
Yeah, he said.
I won't care.
Okay, my bad. It was a delay. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, and that's all. Yeah,
that didn't bother me.
Right. Okay.
Kwame, what about you? Happen again too. You gotta look at our situation. My specific situation. Tawana don't have a lot of male friends. The among male friends she has is my male friends are her friends. So that still don't count because she met those friends through me. They became her friends. So
right.
So basically, in that situation, that's why I say it probably. Put it this way, for her to start gaining male friends and to develop the type of relationships I have with female friends, it would be new for me. It would be a transition for me, as it was for her when we first started dating. That was a transition for her. She had to use it. So it would definitely be a transition for me. But it's like I said, it's a trust situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kwame, you want to say something too?
No, I was more listening, trying to wrap my brain about what's going on. I'm thinking
because it seems like the spotlight been on me the whole time about this emoji stuff. Y'all ain't said
you the one sitting in the kissy face.
Yeah. I want to you say that. So
well,
but you still have the question. So I'm listening. What I'm hearing right now, Kwame, you basically telling me do not ever send your wife a kissy emoji. What you telling me? You feel uncomfortable with that, and you know me for 20-something years.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I don't think that's a good practice. Just because I think it's a double standard for like Geomyra kind of mentioned, like for a guy versus a woman, and maybe it's maybe it's not fair, but it's almost like I'm not gonna purposely put myself in a situation where it could be any interpretation, even if she's cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So no, I might not be, but like but even like I'm saying, even if you don't thinking it is whatever, and your friends, I might be more just because Charleston, but make him, but because Charleston, like she could have said something to me. You know what I'm saying? The fact she had a conversation with me is meaning that she might not thinking of it, but it's a pause. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to get no pause moments, even if it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Whatever and stuff too. This is what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just it can be innocent.
Sending you the kissy face emojis back and forth. I think to Kwame's point, like things could just go left so quickly if somebody just misinterprets a picture when we just got to start using words because just keep it safe.
A bad day, it'd be cool the other 8 days of the week. You know what I'm saying? That one day, rough day, don't be tripping. Never been tripping before. And then when now you see this way, then they tell you about feelings they didn't have, they've been holding in, wasn't making a big deal about it, and now it's coming out later. Let me stay clear of all that. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to have no problems.
Sticking
So
with text.
yeah.
Text.
Keep it safe. I feel you.
Because
I feel you.
nobody want to be the person where they may feel something and they know it can be innocent, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, you want to be like you're jealous, or you know what I'm saying, or especially if it's innocent, even if you trust the person, you know, and you know they're not doing anything, but still make somebody feel away, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, that's a act of emotion outside of it being like your mom or your, you know, your family member or something like that. Even if this person real cool with it, you know what I mean? And I think that's way different when you see somebody in person and you give somebody a hug or something. Like, I ain't seen you in a long time. You may give a kiss on the cheek. Like, that's way different. I think the emoji thing is just freaking, it's tricky anyway. You know what I'm saying? Just personally. And people read so much into it. That's the reason why it be so much. People's not clear communication, period, anyway. People want to go ahead and talk about serious information through text, just names, emojis, just regular text instead of talking about it. So now I'm interpreting your tone. I'm interpreting how, you know what I'm saying, what you may mean behind something that might be innocent, like, or even a serious topic. Let me have a conversation with you so you can understand where I'm coming from. I can stay with you. So any doubt, you know, is there. I'm leaving out the window. I ain't trying to, not purposely trying to do something where I could possibly leave some doubt and somebody feeling a way about something. I'll just stay clear of that if it was me personally.
Hey, Kwame, well, real quick though, you just said something too. You just said in person. Well, we know text messages and emojis. Folks who receive them typically attach their emotions to it. That's why I don't like text a lot, because they get misconstrued. So I can send a text to someone and they may affix their own personal emotions to it. I wasn't even thinking that or feeling that. So, and I think that's why the texting can be dangerous. But Kwame, you just said something about you see him in person. When you see him in person, the kiss is okay with your wife present. A friend.
Yeah, a friend. I mean, it's a little different because you can read that. You can see what's going on.
Right.
Else too. It doesn't mean even somebody's testing whatever and stuff. I mean, it's not. But I'm just not trying to, like, you know. And it's not because I think anybody doing anything wrong or not. I just
Right.
I'd rather have clear communication, and I don't want nobody just on a bad day feeling some kind of way or something like that. Let me stay clear of all that. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Poor Kishara. No more.
Wait, what you saying, boy, for?
No, because it's funny. So at homecoming, you know, homecoming, you hugging everybody. So this actually happened at homecoming this year. So y'all know I was really making my rounds this year, and so I saw a lot of people, you know, and got a lot of pictures of hugging people. So it's one picture that's one I saw. Mind you, again, I'm not hiding anything. She's like, she go all over your chest. What's that about? I was like, are you serious right now? Like, it's homecoming. I was hugging people. She was happy to see me. So
why was she happy to see you though? That's how we're all happy about over there.
Well, I told this was not somebody I tapped, for sure. I had no interest in tapping. But when she responded and Bridget was there, and Bridget was like, "Oh, I ain't never seen you out like that before." She was like, "You haven't?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "She be tripping." I was like, "I don't know why she tripping about me hugging this person or whatever." And so she asked Bridget, she's like, "Bridget, you don't see nothing wrong with this picture right here?" And she's like, "No, because I know him and I know her, and it wouldn't be like that." And she was like, "Oh, well, I don't know her, so I'm just wondering why she hugging my husband." So again, it was a situation.
Right.
There was nothing to it. Like, this somebody went to school with, just because you didn't know them in our relationship. I knew this person, so I'm hugging them like I normally would hug them every year homecoming or whenever I see them. There's nothing to it. But again, she didn't know that person, because again, I don't know every person you know that I knew at school was in school. So I had to explain who that was, not that whole bit. So after it was explained, it was cool, but it was just the picture that she did not like the way that picture looked.
Yeah, I mean,
let me follow. I'm sorry, one second. So imagine if that same person texts you and said it was so great running into you at homecoming, kissy face emoji. You said, I know this. It's just, again, you know him, and you would have probably given him a hug and a kiss at homecoming, but now it's just still gets sloppy and messy, and no.
Over something innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Right.
yeah, and even like that too, and also think too, like we have to put ourselves in other person's shoes too, because that same I don't know what the picture look like, but say hypothetically, or I don't know,
No,
but
I could show you, but I'll show you now.
but what was
I'll
the
show you.
picture that what was the girl doing that makes Tawana to think that, oh, even with whether she was joking or kind of halfway joking or whatever it was that she was saying that
It was a half joke. I guess because the person, I'm tall, the person's kind of short, so they kind of like fell like right
on your
here.
chest, yeah.
Yeah, it happened to fall there. So the picture looked like you know, like she just
Lay on your
planted so
chest,
nicely on my chest.
feeling your heartbeat, huh?
Right.
So, but it wasn't like that. It was just because of how the picture was taken, and she was small.
She's
You know,
feeling your
she's short.
heartbeat, man. Yeah, but so the thing is, so you take that whole situation right there, Kashara, and Ian was innocent, and then say that, you know, hypothetically, Tawana, you see a picture of her, and she's laying her head on some buff dude's chest, and like she's enjoying the stuff, you know what I mean? Like, even if it was innocent, something gonna twitch inside you a little bit. You're gonna be like, what the hell? Like, even if you, whether you keep it to yourself or not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like,
squeeze the dude's arm. Like, it's so good to see you.
she's feeling your damn biceps. She's feeling those biceps. You know what I'm saying? Up.
It's all good.
Yeah, this is totally different.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
I guess I'm just
built. Let me time mark that. Let me time mark this.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm looking at it too. So okay, so Geomyra, same question. Emojis coming to your fields.
Yeah, we don't need to emojis. Let's use English and complete sentences. I'm kidding. No, Phil's not doing that. And kind of to Charles' point, because we've been together so long, he does not have any female friends that are not my friends. He has colleagues and all of that. And as far as my guy friends, I'm like Kishara, where I'm more of the one that's more extroverted. So he knows all of my people, and he has their numbers in his phone, and he can, you know, call him or talk to him, and 90% of the time we're in the room together. So I don't do all that, because to Kwame's point, I don't want no issues, no nothing.
Right.
Some of them have spouses and all of that, and I do spend a lot of time on the phone, like physically on the phone with my male friends. I don't like to text. I rather talk on the phone. So let's just not have anybody thinking something is more than it is, like we're courting or trying to develop anything. No, we're not doing that. So
Right. Well, and your dynamic is a little bit different. So yeah, what you're saying makes perfectly good sense. So
so what about you and Kwame? You know, before we move on, what's y'all? I guess Kwame already said how he feels, so he let me know how he feels. So I would never ever see Kelly a kissy face in life.
I mean, I wasn't, you know, saying that, but you know,
play it safe, Kishara.
I mean, I let me just not say nothing. I'm done, because stuff. This is the stuff that burns me up with people. But I can't be mad, because I can't expect everybody to feel how I feel, and so I'm just all about peace and love. I'm like, yo, like, I'm not the untrustworthy dude. I know you're an untrustworthy girl.
Right.
Why do we have to get all worked up about this type of stuff? You know it ain't like that. So to me, I'm like, it means nothing. So why do people care that much? It actually means nothing. It means something to the people who like shady and grimy and do that.
Right.
But that's those people. So how can you put that thing on me, and you know me? So why would you even think I would try to do something like that? That's why it gets me so worked up.
But it's not even about the person. It's more about from your perspective. Now you're putting yourself in a situation, period, with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Not because that person.
I wouldn't purposely put myself in a situation like that.
Yeah, I'm saying you're not purposely doing it, but it could happen. That's what I'm saying. That's how I look at it. It had nothing to do with your integrity. It's doing like imagery and how that stuff look. You know what I'm saying? So even like, you know, because I'm this way and they should know me and all that. Yeah, all that do matter. It does matter, but like, you know, I want to still make it look, you know, everything above board, even outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still what it could look and what somebody can interpret. Like, I don't want somebody to interpret something wrong that it could interpret wrong, even if it's all 100% above board. That's to me, that's the bigger point.
And Kashara, to Kwame's point, Yeah, what you're saying is, yo, you know me, you know my intentions. I'm not even that dude. But sometimes that's not enough to. We don't care what people think about, like, right, what people think, but
That's what
in
I feel.
terms of right, no, right, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is sometimes in terms of keeping a particular peace within that space, that marital space, that's just not enough. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think I'm not married. I'm just speaking on what I think, and just in relationships. Period. I've been. You guys know I've had situations where it ain't had to be emoji. It could be somebody looking across the room. Why are they looking at you? What's going on, man? What's that about? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes, and then it just depends on the folks. I got friends who they don't. It's whatever. They don't care. I mean, it just depends on the people too. And I will say this too. I think some people bury insecurities. I don't care. No one's above that. I think some people they just have these deep hidden insecurities, and certain things can pull them out. You know what I'm saying? So even though we come in peace and we don't mean harm, sometimes that's just not enough. And and Kashara, my bad, Kwame. I want to say this too. I wouldn't say that you're wrong for feeling that way, right? I wouldn't. I mean, shit. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, because you feel like that's the right thing, and you feel like you. I always tell people, and I stand on this too. If I make a decision and I feel like it's the right decision at the time, and it ends up biting me in my ass, I don't trip because I felt like that was the right thing to do at the time. So if you feel like at the time that's the right thing to do, to me that just speaks to your integrity. Look, my intentions are safe, but I just think sometimes, and I made that comment a second ago. I'm gonna wrap it up. We don't care what people think, but um sometimes what we present sometimes can be seen differently, if that makes sense. So what I'm saying is I see your point. Yo, I come in peace, I don't mean any harm, but that's just not how it looks sometimes. My bad, Kwame.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying too. I think you looking at it from like I said, well, I don't know if you're taking it personally or not, but like you're saying, but
No, I'm not taking it. Well, I am a little bit, not from y'all, but I know because so many people think like that, and that type of stuff just burns me
Right,
up when it's towards me, because I'm like, you know me, so why would you even think I would do something like that?
But
So to even have that thought, I'm just like, that just it bothers me out. Because like I said, I know me, and I know I would never do nothing like that. I get how the other person can misinterpret that, and that's why I say that sometimes I guess that's why my relationship is solid for the most part, because she knows me, and it took her a while to get there. It was a transition, but there's still some, like you said, still always a fine line. You can never, it can be murky. And so I'm here to have this conversation. Yeah, I got it. So I'm be more mindful of that type of stuff. But I feel like I gotta be me at the end of the day. Like,
yeah, I mean, I understand that.
I gotta be me. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes to too. That goes to this too. I know me as a single man, and I think it's just me. It's just certain women I don't even really want to speak to in the presence of their husbands, because it's just something about me. Not a bad thing, but it's just
because you're so suave.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No,
you guys
know. You are.
Absolutely not. But no. I think I'm probably one of the last brothers left. That well, I won't say that because that takes us down that road. But my point is this. Here's my point. Shit, I'm getting off track. My point is this. My point is on the flip side of that coin, like the sheer confidence of what you're doing can intimidate some folks. So you being you know what I'm saying, you're confident what you're doing, yada yada. I think some people can look at that as they can become insecure. Your confidence can make some folks insecure, is what I'm saying. If that makes sense.
And that's part I want to make before we move on is, like I said, because I don't want like is the interpretation. What I'm saying for a more macro, more general way. Like like how I'm hearing what you said, Kashar, you very personalized, but this is me. You know, my intentions this, like that. Your intentions may be that, but my point is, like, if you had hypothetically 5 friends that you real cool, you're close with, whatever and stuff, and you include their significant other and all that stuff, right? And you feel comfortable enough, like, you know, it's nothing, it's not even like that, and you go ahead and you feel comfortable enough that where Tawana knows them and everything else, and you send like a kissy. I'm using a kissy because that's to me like the gray area. You know, it can really be innocent. And then you get those 5 friends, and 4 of those 5 friends would not have no issue or wouldn't say nothing about it. but then it might be that one friend where it could at least something. Like I wouldn't put myself in a situation where, that even conversation, even that one friend would take place. So now I got to have a whole conversation knowing you know me, I know about this, I didn't mean this, yada yada. Like I wouldn't even have that conversation. I'll avoid it altogether and just keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? Like versus instead of personalizing it, I would make it more general. Like, I'll just stay away from it. So I don't even want to have certain conversations with people, especially people I'm close with, if I don't have to, even if I don't mean to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm drinking it for a more general situation, not because it's me, man. I'm your friend, I'm your boy. Like, nah, I mean we are, but the point is like, yo, I don't know. I just like something I was trying to avoid if I could possibly avoid it. If I can possibly see something going wrong with that and be misinterpreted wrong.
I got you. I guess.
Hey, look, you know what I equate that to one of my homies loaning my girl some money behind my back.
What happened?
You feel some type of way about it that he loaned her money?
Absolutely.
What happened? What happened?
I said I equate that to like if one of my homies loan my girl, if I was dating somebody, loan my girl some money behind my back.
Oh, I missed her. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can understand that too.
Yeah,
and he don't
I
tell
have a
you.
problem with
And
that.
he don't tell you. Like
Right,
you took him behind
absolutely.
your back, so that means he been here and loan her like, yo, your girl's like, well, like, and I just gave her, some money. Like, but damn, you telling me like, yeah, that to me, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would tell you. That's what I'm saying. I would tell you, even if she don't know that I told you, I would tell you. Look, I slid her some money because she asked me whatever. I would tell you.
Right.
Me not telling you, I think you should feel some type of way because that's me and your relationship. So why would I give your money to give your girl money and not tell you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But last thing before you move on to this dopeness, because I could talk about this all night. Seriously, I could. How this started. I heard on the radio, and this is what got me to want to talk about this. Someone said they equate a dick pic and a kissy emoji as the same thing, and that I was like, "There's no way you can say someone's sending a dick pic and a kissy emoji to your girl on the same level. That is no way on the same level."
Absolutely not.
I thought about me. I'm like, I see a kissy face emoji all the time. Like, are you serious? Like, how can you equate that on the same level? That's how it came up. That's how this topic came up. Because there's no way.
No way. There's no way.
But I guess where y'all talking tonight, maybe could.
No.
It's a different.
We're not saying
no.
That. I'm sure
one is
Geomyra's
a
not
death sentence, and the other one is a warning shot. Like those are two different things. No, let's not be so dramatic here. Whoever that person was, a dick pic.
Yeah,
it was on morning show. Yeah, I was like, what?
No.
Nigga trying to ride a crowd up on that one. That's a stretch.
No, and see, that's the problem. You should have started the conversation with that. That's why you in your feelings, because you got us out here thinking one thing, and you mad because you're equating it to this whole. Oh, you think I'm sending your girl dick pics? That's the problem. You should have started with that.
Well, that'll be part 2. All right, so moving on to one of the best parts of our show. I think all the parts are the best, but one of the best parts is our dose of dopeness. And this evening, our dose of dopeness goes to our guest tonight, Ms. Geomyra Pollard, who is a loving mother and wife. She's an auntie, sister. She's just everything. She's also the host of her own podcast, I'm Living Well Rounded. So Geomyra, this is your time to shine. Tell us what you got going on. Everything. Just let us know, the listeners know where they can find you and all the good stuff about Geomyra Pollard.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I've listened to the podcast. I think it's awesome what you guys are doing, how authentic it is, and just the bond you have. I think that is so dope. And so me, as you said, wife, mom, entrepreneur, small business owner for the last 15, 16 years. Podcast is called Living Well Rounded, and my podcast and my platform is all about finding the tools and resources so that we can all live a well-rounded life. And you guys are, just like me, you like to travel, you like to spend time with your families, you like to have a good time, but you're so serious about your craft, your work, and all the things. And so the preface behind all of it is just, how do you find space to fit all those things in so you feel like you have a well-rounded life? And so I, teach people how to do that, how to do it well, how to live well, which is so important. And so for me, podcast season 7 will be launching sometime soon. Miss Podcasting, it's been a minute, so talking to you guys has me amped to actually jump back in it. What are we doing? Going into the new year in the next couple weeks, I'll be launching some new products and resources related to living well-rounded. But I spend the majority of my time coaching clients one-on-one behind the scenes. So I'm blessed to be able to work with a lot of creatives, entrepreneurs that are doing big things, but we kind of keep it hush hush. But yeah, that's what I'm up to. That's what I'm doing. I'm coaching. I'm on Instagram. My handle is at I am living well rounded. And my website is simply Geomyra.com.
Great.
Awesome. Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We're glad to have you. It was fun. Yeah, we definitely enjoy it. Hopefully some of our listeners get a chance to check your podcast out.
Yes, definitely.
It's all about sharing information, especially in this podcast community, and being not like a big name famous person, so you got to kind of strive a little bit trying to get all the listeners you can, and part of that's kind of like cross promoting each other and stuff. So yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And if anyone is listening and you hear me on the show, slide into my DMs minus the kissy faces and let me know you heard me here so we can connect and all the things, because this was a great conversation.
Love it.
But thank you. Thank you again for being on
Right.
our show. We definitely appreciate it. We had fun with you tonight. Hope you learned some things, because I
I
definitely did.
learned a lot because you about to hang up in your feelings. That's what I learned. We love you. It's okay. Just get off your chest, send the kissy face. I'll let Phil know what the conversation. Just get it out your system. Okay.
That's funny.
But no, thank you guys. This was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
I'm glad.
Appreciate
We
you
thank
too.
you again. And so we want to make sure all our listeners know where to find you, what you did, but we also make sure we send out the information as well. And so we want to thank our listeners and our watchers for continuing to kick it with us. Don't forget, you can always find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at 4x-Dope Podcast. You can also send us some emails with your thoughts and comments at 4x-Dope Podcast@gmail.com. And also don't forget about our merchandise you can find at our great co-host who couldn't be with us tonight on his website, subjecttochange.com, which is www.s2c.com. And we're continuing to send Jamie some love. Hope you get well soon. And also, again, sending condolences to your wife, Miss Faith Patterson. And until next time, we are out.